So when I'm out shooting video, there's only ever really one thing on my mind, and that's to capture the best possible footage that I can. You know, as filmmakers, we spend a lot of time building out the perfect camera rig, whether that's the body, the lens, the filter, but what about the other half of the picture? The other half of building a really, really good film. I think it's gotta be like subconscious or something. We're able to withstand the poor quality of a video, maybe that's like a 720p video, or even like an old film emulation. I'm actually guilty of that. I actually take the nice 4K crisp image that comes out of this camera and I tune it down to make it look more vintage and old. Obviously that's super trendy and stylistic, but we're able to do that and get away with it. But bad audio. A video with poor audio is actually just incredibly difficult to sit through, and it's probably one of the easiest and dumbest ways to lose engagement on your videos. So today I wanted to take you guys through my entire process of how I curate the best possible audio for my videos, for my vlogs. I know when I first picked up a camera, audio was definitely the last thing on my mind, and I definitely suffered because of it. So to help you guys avoid that fate, I'm gonna show you guys everything that I wish I knew when I started out in terms of audio. So although audio is pretty simple, there's actually a different type of microphone that you're gonna wanna use depending on the situation that you find yourself in. So here's what I use. So this is my shotgun mic. It sits on top of my camera, powers on with the camera, and is the most straightforward when it comes to filmmaking and vlogging. It really works best when the camera is facing you, you're right in front of it, and I would say less than 6 feet away from it. You wanna be front and centered, and you can use it to capture your voice when you're talking, or maybe your environment when you're walking around. Just make sure to point it in the right direction because the pickup pattern on this thing is very, very directional. Think of it like a gun, a shotgun. The one I use is the Rode Video Micro. I bought it about 7 years ago for $50, and it's been the only one I've used since then. Next, there's my desktop USB condenser microphone. It sits on top of my desk and is connected to my editing computer at all times. It creates a very warm, full, and professional sound, so recently I've been finding myself using it mainly for voiceovers. The one I've picked up recently is the Razer Siren Mini, and I also use it for Discord when I'm gaming. And now, a newcomer on the block for me is a wireless microphone system. These have been getting a lot more recognition on social media, whether that's on YouTube or TikTok, especially in the cinematic vlogging space, because I think people are realizing that the formula for a vlog isn't just standing, walking around, and holding out the camera in front of you. You can get a little bit more creative with these things, allowing yourself to set up shots like this, step 10, 20 feet away from the camera, and still have nice, crisp audio. Whether I'm sitting here having a conversation with someone across the room, down there, or even behind the camera, it doesn't matter where they're standing, I can get that good audio because it's a wireless system. No strings attached. It's just nice to be able to put a little bit of distance between yourself and the camera and still be certain that you're gonna have that nice professional audio. And in terms of wireless microphones, the ones that I have been using have actually been from 7 Rims, who number 1 are what this video is filmed on, and number 2 are the sponsor of this video. What you're seeing right now and listening to is the 7 Rims DW40, a 4-channel wireless microphone system. It comes in this neat charging case which houses the receiver and not 1, not 2, but 4 transmitters, meaning you can mic up everyone, including yourself and all of your friends and family. I've personally had a lot of fun playing around with these microphones. The audio output is clean and reliable, and overall they've allowed me to capture audio in new and creative ways. So if you think the audio quality from this video is great, make sure to check them out. I'll have them linked in the top of the description, and once again, thank you to 7 Rims for sponsoring this video. So that's the gear, but what does it actually look like when I'm out filming my day? Okay, so it is about 4:30, 4:40, almost end of the workday. I just have to fire off a few more emails. Today is a Monday, which really just means that it's a work day, both in terms of the 9 to 5 and also just the YouTube game. I try and knock out as much work as I can on Mondays. This is a piece of salmon jerky. I kind of skipped lunch because I was working on something, but I'm grabbing dinner in a little bit with some friends, so I don't want to spoil my appetite yet. But until then, let's talk about audio. This is the most common angle that you will see when I'm vlogging, whether I've sat down the camera like this on a surface and I'm talking to you guys directly, or maybe I pick you guys up and I'm walking around going about my day. This is kind of the distance that'll keep between myself and the microphone so that you guys can hear me properly with a shotgun microphone. Of course, you guys can definitely be able to hear as I back up, my voice is definitely getting a little quieter and you're gonna hear a little bit more environment, but this is the standard vlogging setup that you'll see the most on YouTube. As for the desktop microphone, it's definitely used a lot less than these other two that I've mentioned, as it really just lives on my desk. If I'm going out filming my day, it doesn't actually come into play until after. But that's not to say there's no time and place for a narration or anything. I actually used one in my last travel film to New York City, and I didn't plan on using this microphone to do a voice recording until afterwards, because once I got into editing, I realized that New York City is really loud and a lot of my audio was just unusable. That's where something like this will come into handy. I'll sit here at my desk while I'm editing and just quickly write something up, record it, go straight into Premiere. The good thing about narrations is that you can really lock in what you want to say because you could basically just type it out and read straight from the script. And I really just find that it works best in a nice and quiet environment, whether that's like an office, a studio space, but for me, that's just my living room. And recently I've been a big fan of stepping away from my camera like this, setting up a nice shot. I'm shooting on a 70mm lens right now on APS-C, so that really is 70mm times 1.5. What is that, like 100mm? And the fact that you guys can still hear me on a wireless mic is insane. So in my previous video, before I had a wireless mic, what I would actually do is record on the voice notes app on my phone. And I'm pretty sure every iPhone will have a voice recording app. And what I would do is set up the camera, leave it over there, record, and then I'd go walk away, record the audio on my phone just like this. And then I'd take it all into Premiere and sync it up in post. But the nice part about actually owning a wireless mic, transmitter, and receiver is that now everything is done in camera. I'm not recording this on the microphone and then doing it in post. This is actually just the straight audio you're hearing from the camera. I was gonna sit here and swing around for this segment, but there's a ton of water. It rained yesterday, so maybe I won't do that. You guys might have also seen that recently a lot of your favorite sports teams will mic up their players using these wireless mics to get that in-game kind of feeling. And it's really the same concept that I'm talking about. The ability to freely move around without any cables and still be able to capture that insider personal audio. Also, the ones from 7 Rooms that I've been using are conveniently clipped right to my jacket with a windscreen. It is stuck on there magnetically, and you guys probably didn't even notice when I was recording. So if you stuck around after that last segment, I want to thank you guys for sticking around, staying in class. I'm gonna go over just some additional tips that I didn't mention earlier that I really wish I would have known in the beginning. These aren't rules, laws, or facts. These are just things that I myself have picked up and still implement into my work these days. Number one, be mindful of your levels. So really what you're gonna wanna do is not only edit to whatever headphones or speakers that you're editing to, but also be mindful of your levels. I try and keep my main audio, which is usually my voice, around -6 decibels, and then any music and sound effects goes between -12 to -20 decibels, depending on what else is playing at the time. Number two, talk nice and clear. No matter what microphone that you're recording on, it could be the most expensive microphone in the world. If you're mumbling and not pronouncing your words right, I'm sorry, the audio is gonna be garbage. You're gonna have to speak up, maybe a little louder than normal, depending on how far away the camera and microphone is from you. But also, when you're recording, keep an eye on that level. Make sure it's not slapping the red part at the far right, because that means you're peaking and your audio is gonna be unusable there. And also make sure it's not too low, or else when you boost it in post, you're gonna have a lot of background noise. And number three, don't be afraid to mess around in post and edit your audio. Of course, when people say video editing, you're really only thinking about chopping up the footage. So if you have really poor audio, throw some noise reduction on it, de-hum, de-reverb. So make sure you take time to learn those and not just focus on the video stuff, but also the audio stuff. And that's pretty much it. That's really all I do in terms of audio when it comes to vlogging and making these YouTube videos. I really hope that some of the things I've mentioned in this video can help you guys out and you guys implement it into your own workflow. Of course, I am not like an audio engineer or an audio specialist, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. So if you have any other suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. If you have any questions, comments below. But hopefully this video will help you out when you're out creating your next vlog. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and if you guys want to check out the microphones that I'm filming this entire video on, I'll have the link down in the description. Thank you again to 7 Rooms for sponsoring this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.